So, what a day yesterday for Lincoln Riley and the USC Trojans as they land one of the top players in all of high school football, four-star edge out the state of Texas, Braylan Shelby. Today, we need to break down what this addition means to the USC Trojans, why this is such a great win, and everything in between. But before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I need to hear from you. Hop down to the comments. Y for yes, N for no. Are you excited that USC is able to get a massive win in the state of Texas for one of the fastest risers in the nation? If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed the content, like and comment down below as those interactions are massive to content creators such as myself in both getting picked up and maintained by the YouTube algorithm. But having said all that, let's jump right into this because we have got a lot to break down and we need to start with why USC fans need to be so excited about this addition. And first and foremost, you're talking about a four-star top 300 player in all of high school football regardless of position per 24/7 Sports. Anytime you can get in that quality of player that's a top 300 guy, you need to be excited, but especially if you can get in a guy that comes in at number 133 overall in the state of Texas and has been one of the fastest risers in the nation. I keep bringing that up because in April of this year, Braylan Shelby was ranked outside the top 400 players in all of high school football, and over the course of a few months has had a meteoric rise to where now he sits comfortably in the top 150 players, and his senior season hasn't even started yet. Whenever you see someone rise at this level, it's completely within the realm of possibility that once the season begins and they're able to put more tape out there, they just continue rising. So where he ultimately ends up, it's going to be very interesting to see, but I don't think it's out the realm of possibility at all that he continues to make his way up this board, considering how fast he's already made it from 415 to number 133. It's been an incredible shoot up the recruiting rankings. But what is it about Braylan Shelby's game that USC fans need to be so excited about? And that's very simple to answer. If you turn on his tape, where do we want to begin? Because he's an edge guy who is proficient at making the quarterback's job very difficult, but he's quite successful at stopping the run. And one of the most intriguing things I noticed about Braylan Shelby that was really cool to watch is how his high school team in Friendswood, Texas used him in space. Because in his junior season, we're talking about an edge guy that stands 6'4.5", 235 pounds, who's coming after the quarterback, who's stuffing runs, but who also recorded not only 5 pass breakups, but an interception. And that's not a fluke because they are consistently putting him out in space to do zone coverage, and he's doing it well. This is the type of athlete that I think is going to fit in very well with what USC is wanting to do defensively. We need to see how Grinch's defense translates from Oklahoma to USC. There were years at Oklahoma where it was rising. Ultimately, the last year he was there, it kind of sputtered. How is that going to be able to translate to USC, where now a rebuild is having to occur? Well, one thing we do know is it's going to be much easier to successfully rebuild USC if you have athletes such as Braylan Shelby at your disposal and athletes who fit into the system you want to run. And ultimately, I think that's exactly what I'm trying to say here, is that Braylan Shelby fits what I think Grinch, Manning, and them are going to want to run at USC. And because of that, you have to be over the moon. But what does this mean for USC's class as a whole? And USC now has 15 additions in this class and sit at number 12, just outside the top 10. And fear not, USC fans. This is a perfectly fine place to be. Remember, USC is still in a rebuild. As much hype as Lincoln Riley and them came to Southern California with, and as much as they were able to utilize that hype at the early stages of recruiting, we have to remember that once results are shown, that's going to be the ultimate air of legitimacy for Riley and company. That's why I'm so interested to see what USC's season is like this year, because that's going to be huge for recruiting going forward. And make no mistake, I'm not saying they have to make the college football playoff. I'm just saying if they go out there and look like a team that is absolutely moving in a successful direction, that's going to be enough to sway some recruits, but it has to be done on the field. And when we look at it, I don't question the offense. And USC fans, you've heard me say this before, so I apologize in advance. You're going to hear me say it one more time. I don't question the offense for Lincoln Riley and USC. I mean, just look at the players they have. Sure, the offensive line is something I'm curious about, but at the end of the day, you have Lincoln Riley, you have Caleb Williams. You did a fantastic job in the transfer portal with Mario Williams, with the Biletnikoff winner Jordan Addison, not to mention Travis Dye, the running back for Oregon, who I don't think gets the press he deserves because he is going to be an incredibly key piece for this USC offense. Mark my words. Travis Dye's importance has kind of been undervalued thus far. I can't wait to see what he does for Lincoln Riley and them. But at the end of the day, it's the defense that I think most people are looking at, curious about. When's the defense going to be able to match the offense, or is the defense going to be able to match the offense? Although that's not a question I can answer for you, what I can tell you is I do like the pieces they've been able to pick up. Look, you look at Shane Lee coming out of Alabama, that's a very experienced guy, and he has the best type of experience. He came in as a true freshman for Alabama when they experienced injuries, and played successfully, might I add, the entire season. At the end of the day, he makes his way to Southern California, to USC, and what he offers is something that you really can't teach. It's the positive experience at being a winning program and knowing what it takes on a day-in, day-out basis to achieve those results. I think that's incredibly powerful for Lincoln Riley and USC to get in a guy like that. But speaking on the transfer portal additions, as much as you have to love everything they did on offense, as much as I love the Shane Lee addition and their importance cannot be understated, personally, my favorite addition is on the defensive side of the ball, and Eric Gentry. And I really can't wait for when Shelby gets to the collegiate level and we could see them playing on the same field, or at least on the same team, because I think Eric Gentry is a phenomenally talented player. I think his upside is unreal, and I can't wait to see how he helps this USC defense. But at the end of the day, it's wins like this with Braylan Shelby that I think are going to give Lincoln Riley and company legitimacy. And especially if they can put results on the field, their legitimacy is only going to be stacking on top of each other. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking about this, because I think this is a great addition, and USC has kept a strong presence in the state of Texas, something that's translated from the guys that moved from the Oklahoma Sooners to the Trojans. But I cannot wait to hear from Trojan fans and everybody in between about what they think about this great addition for USC. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.